Hey guys, I'm Mo back again, and this is my 4 weeks review of the Google Pixel 7 Pro. This phone has been out for about 2 months already, so there's been at least 2 software updates. So I know when the phone is initially released, where all the reviews are pushed out by all the high-end tech reviewers, they typically have the phone for a couple weeks. But I think after 2 months, you really get a good sense of the phone. By this time, whatever bugs there are, Google would hopefully address them. So in this video, I'm basically going to give you my 4 weeks review of this phone, even though the phone's been out for 2 months. I'll walk you through 5 things that I like about the phone and 5 things that I do not like about the phone. And at the end, I'll give you a quick summary on my final verdict in terms of whether it is worth it or not over the regular Pixel 7. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it. In terms of the Google Pixel 7 Pro, if you're getting the Pro model, you are getting one of the best camera systems that smartphones have to offer. And compared to the regular Google Pixel 7, you're getting a 20x video zoom and a 30x photo zoom. So you can't really zoom that deeply into the regular Pixel 7. And with the Pro model, you're getting one of the best night photos and one of the best portrait photos that smartphone have to offer. Video quality is pretty decent as well. And even like the main camera is also solid. Top 3 in terms of smartphone cameras. So if you get a Pro model, you are no doubt getting one of the best camera that money can buy at a discounted price, I would argue, compared to other Pro models. And you're also getting the macro photos that you're not getting with the regular Pixel 7. So those are all number 1 group into the camera, which is one of the biggest selling point of this phone. Number 2 is the 120 Hz refresh rate. The regular Pixel 7 only have 90 Hz refresh rate. Quad HD, you're getting a bright, large display, more pixels compared to the standard 1080p display on the regular Pixel 7. And overall, you're just getting a larger phone. It is 6.7 inches compared to the 6.3 or so on the regular Pixel 7. And lastly, one of the biggest selling points beside the camera is just the overall AI software on the Pixel series. And this applies to both the Pro model and the regular model. I love the recording features on this phone. Just the ability to transcribe all the text in live time. You can go back and search your notes. Makes it very easy and efficient to go back and reference things that you may have missed in the past, listen to the recordings, search for specific notes. You can do it on your phone or also on a computer, which is super convenient. And since the December update, Google did add the speaker labeling. It doesn't work as well as you would think, but it is better than nothing, I guess. At least you can still visually see approximately where different speakers are talking. It's not perfect. I mentioned prior videos, sometimes they mislabel the speakers, especially if one person is talking over the other. They might count that as one speaker and they get confused with the voices sometimes, but that's a story for another day. Overall, I still like the feature just with the ability to take notes, transcribe, and search it at a later time. Super helpful for work or lectures. And in addition to that, all the other AI software around phone calls is super useful. When I'm calling an automated machine, I love the ability to see all of the text transcribed with the menu there. You can just select from a certain prompt. For me personally, I hate having to call places like hospitals or cable companies where you have to go to an automated machine and they give you a long list of prompts that you have to listen carefully and then go back and select it. But now Google can transcribe all the options. You can select it on the screen. Saves you some time to have to listen to the prompt multiple times if you weren't paying attention the first time. And I love the ability to screen certain calls when they come in. Whenever you're getting a call from a random number, you can just press the screen button and then it forces the person on the other end to identify themselves in a way. That way you can save time picking up saying hello, having them hear your voice and do weird things with it. So little things like that is what the Pixel series have to offer. Incredible software support. I do like that. Since this phone has been out for 2 months, they have already issued 2 software updates. So it's nice to see that Google is committing to the update there. And with the most recent December 5th update, Google also added free VPN to the Pixel series like they said they would. So once again, nice to see that Google is on time with their updates and keeping their promises. And the phone is actively getting better over time. The labeling features and the VPN wasn't available at launch, but it did come 2 months later. And now on to some of the things I don't like the phone. I know a lot of you guys are Pixel enthusiasts. As much as I love to say all good things about this phone, I do want to identify some of the negative aspects just for people who are still deciding whether to get the phone or not. And I know some people got the Pro model, they absolutely love it. There's nothing wrong with it. For me, I can always find something wrong with any smartphone, so don't thumbs down me for saying negative things about your favorite phone. I love the Google Pixel phone in general. But number one thing that I do not like about the Pixel 7 Pro is just it's not a truly all-day battery life. It's more like an all-workday battery life. In general, it lasts about 11 hours for me under normal usage. And if I use the phone a lot, I get about 8 to 9 hours on average. Screen on time is shockingly disappointing. I tend to get anywhere from 3 to 4 hours compared to the 4 or 5 I was getting on a regular Pixel 7. And for a Pro model, I would expect it to last a full day, not just like a true work day, especially since I start my day at 6 a.m. Typically find that my phone will die before my work shift sometimes if I use it often. So just something to keep in mind, you're gonna need to charge this phone up at least once a day if you use it a lot. But if you're a light user, I had some days where it will last me from morning all the way to bedtime. So it just depends on your preference. But if you get on the Pro model, I assume you want to use all the Pro features and go crazy with it, versus just getting it and putting it in your pocket. But that's neither here or there. That's why I try to document the last 4 weeks or so for you guys to see. I try to switch up usage so you can see how it affects the battery life depending on the style. But as much as I hate to admit it, battery's not the strongest point of this phone. They do have the 30-watt fast charging, so within 30 minutes you can just charge your phone up to 50%, so no issue there. I have a bunch of chargers around, so there's always solutions around that. Another downside of this phone is that it's only offering 3 years of software updates compared to Samsung, who's offering 4. I would like to see Google match Samsung on the next phone, given the fact that Google is Android and Samsung is using the Android software, yet somehow Samsung is offering more support compared to Google. I guess on one end, you can argue that a lot of people don't keep their phones that long. I'm not sure how long you guys keep your phone, but if longevity is a big thing for you, you're only getting 3 years of software updates with Google. But you're still getting the security updates for 5 years, so just I think by Android 15, you're going to be stuck on that for a couple years. Still getting the security updates, just not the software updates. And I think at that point, if you're into doing ROMs and everything like that, if your phone's no longer supported, I think you can find a way to get the additional software support. I'm sure there's like a big community out there since this is a big fan base for the Google Pixel series in general. So someone out there will probably be working on it. Apologize in advance if you hear a lot of noise. There's like a garbage truck picking up trash outside. And I know most people who is getting a Pixel phone, they're getting it for the software, the simplicity, and just the ease of use of the phone. But for me, I would like to see a little bit more features in some cases, like the camera. I used Samsung phones a lot in the past, and I like that on Samsung phone I can switch between the main camera and the selfie camera pretty easily by a press of a button. The Pixel phone doesn't have that. If I'm recording in the main camera, I have to stop what I'm recording and then switch back to the selfie camera if I wanted to do that. Same thing with vlogging. Samsung can use both cameras at once on their S series compared to the Pixel phone. You're just limited to one camera at a time. It's a minor thing, but there are some cases where I want to be able to switch back and forth with 2 cameras. And if that's something that is important to you, just gotta keep in mind that they don't offer that on the Pixel series. And even though Google is offering the newer and more powerful G2 chip on this phone, it does get warm when I play games for more than 15 minutes. Before the December updates, I noticed that the phone was getting really hot, like almost burning hot. But after the update, it gets a little warm. So just something to keep in mind. I know when I was using the regular Pixel 7, a lot of people were asking me about overheating issues, but I wasn't getting that with the regular Pixel 7, and I noticed it more on the Pro model. And in one case, it actually did shut down before the December update, but since then it's been pretty solid. And another minor nitpick about this phone is the camera bar design. I would recommend getting a case for this phone because right when I got this phone, I think from day one, I already got a little scratch near the camera bar, and this is me taking in and out of my pocket. And then after using it for about 4 weeks, you do notice more scuffles around the camera angle. So you want to protect your phone. Some people love the camera bar, some people don't, but it is prone to scratches, so just be mindful of that. But in conclusion, you are buying a Pro model phone at $900 that comes in lower than iPhone and Samsung for their Pro models, and you're getting one of the best cameras that smartphones have to offer. Overall, it is a fast and smooth phone. Scrolling back and forth, no issue there, no stutter or anything like that. One of the games I was playing, I was having issue jumping from the game to the home screen, but I think eventually that game, Township, it updated and now it works fine. But there was a couple weeks where I was having a weird issue with that. I would say that issue might be on the game side, since there wasn't any Google updates or anything since then, and I updated all my apps and it eventually fixed itself. But other than that, phone is fast and efficient, so I wouldn't be worried about anything like that. The only thing I would worry about is the long-term software support. You're only getting 3 years of software updates on this phone compared to the iPhone 6s. I think they're still supporting their phone today, which is pretty amazing. As much as I do prefer Android over iPhone, I do like that long-term software commitment. And going back to the Pixel series, I love that they have been pretty timely with the updates. November 5th was the first update, and then December 5th was the next big update. So hopefully around January 5th, we might see another one. And with the Pixel 7 Pro, you're seeing a large big display. So if you're into big phones, I would recommend this one. But there you have it. It is my 4 weeks review of the Google Pixel 7 Pro. Previously, I was using the regular Pixel 7 for 42 days. And I personally prefer the regular Pixel 7 over the Pro model just because I like better value. It is $300 cheaper, and I actually prefer the smaller form factor. Just easier to use with one hand. I never feel like I'm going to drop the phone. Compared to the Pixel 7 Pro, sometimes when I'm typing, I have to reach all the way to the other corner and I feel like my phone is tipping. So just little things like that. I just have more peace of mind over a smaller form factor. But with a larger display like the Google Pixel 7 Pro is better for gaming, watching videos, and all that. But for me personally, I don't care about the 120Hz refresh rate or the Quad HD or the macro photos or the zooming. But if any of those things do matter to you and you don't mind spending the extra $300, then by all means get the Pro model. But the regular Pixel 7 basically have 90% of all the features the Pro model have to offer and is 30% cheaper. And if you're a math person, just let that sink in for a second. I just think the regular Pixel 7 is overall better value. And with the Pro model, you're basically paying more for the Pro features. So it depends on how much those Pro features really matter to you. Let me know if you found this video helpful in the comments below. I might cover this phone for a few more days and then eventually switch over to the OnePlus T, which I've been eyeing for a while. But I decided to go for the Pixel series just for the better cameras, since I knew I was going to go on vacation and I do want a good quality camera phone. And I did not regret that decision. And after the OnePlus T, I do plan to cover the S23 series. As much as I do love the Google Pixel series, I do want to stay up to date with the newest smartphones out there. But eventually, the Pixel 7a is going to come around. I'll be sure to cover that as well. And it has been an amazing experience with the regular Google Pixel 7, going to Italy with it, bringing it around the world and back, and switching to the Google Pixel 7 Pro, which has been a lot of fun and does have many things to offer. Please check out my daily vlogs with the Google Pixel 7 Pro and the regular Pixel 7 if you haven't already. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.